Okay, here we are, and I believe we're ready to go with reveal number 562. This is a 1955 Philadelphia roll. Sorry, I was out earlier today. I was trying to sleep in just a little bit, and the wife called me and said she needed me to bring her a suitcase to her. She was about an hour away. So, the good guy I am, hop in the car with Mama's suitcase and took it all the way to her on the other side of Durham. So I now have my driving experience in for the day. Hello, Mr. Adams. Good morning, sir. All right, here is our 1955 roll. I think I'm having a little bit of an issue with my camera here. It's showing up just a little bit on the late side. Maybe it'll stay up until I decide to turn it off. Alright, here we go. All the coins out on the table ready to go. Let's see who gets the first coin and get started with this little adventure. Well, Tyler. What do you know? Tyler happens to be here, and Tyler is the first person to come up on my list. Let's see what we have for Tyler. Oh, would you look at that? Really nice example of the dieware that is the poor man's double. So a very nice looking example of a very late dice date, 1955 Lincoln cent. Usually with that you get extremely weak lettering in God We Trust. We have a double die reverse or two to be looking for. Ooh, this one is a very late dice date as well. All the wheat lines are gone. Yeah, this is what it looks like when you mint coins with a die that should be retired. Alright, got nothing special on that one though. Get Mr. Keyboard out of the way here and go on to coin number 2. This one's for Richard. I hope everybody else is having a less eventful morning than I am. Okay, there's another one. That would be a nice example of the poor man's double. Sometimes called a poor man's double die, but I don't like to call it the poor man's double die simply because that's a confusing term, because these coins actually have nothing to do with double dies. Good morning, Taco John. Let's see. Okay, so that's coin number 2. Let's move on to coin number 3, Frostbite. I have 5 reveals scheduled for today. I have 3 early and 2 late. The 3 early are going to be in succession, one after the other. So depending on how long these take, they could be as little as an hour and a half for all 3. Hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. Yeah. It's an interesting, looks like a clash mark under the RI of America. Let's keep looking around and see what else we see on this. It's a very interesting little mark right there. Do we have anything else? There's nothing else to give us a good clue as to what that is. It looks like a clash mark, but I don't think it is. It's probably a die dent of some sort. The die was damaged. So the guy who's calling an FS 102 you got? Yeah, the guy knows nothing about die varieties. If you're calling an FS 102 a poor man's die variety, I want to buy all of the tubes of those he has. I'll give him $2 or $3 a coin. Okay, we have a slightly better looking 1955 here, except this one is starting to tone down a little bit. It's a nice earlier die state, though. Let's check the reverse on this one and see what happens. There's Mr. Boudreau. Good morning, Mr. Boudreau. Yes, I am sending invoices out for the auction last night. I had planned on doing that when I got up this morning, but I instead ended up taking a drive that I did not plan. So I'll get into the work as soon as I can. Of course, I can't send invoices and do reveal shows at the same time, so they'll have to wait until after the morning reveal shows are done. I have 3 of them to do. We've seen this particular die before. And check the reverse on this one as well. That is not hub doubling, that is machine doubling there. Showing up on a Pluribus. All machine doubling. Really nice looking machine doubling for a wheat reverse though. But machine doubling is machine doubling, and it's considered non-collectible doubling, or what some people would also call worthless doubling. Morning, Chris. We've got Doug now. I would have been on time this morning too. I was running pretty well until I got called out for a 50-mile drive away from home just to hand off a suitcase and drive back home. Sherman, no. He's licking my chair. I don't like that because he gets slobber all over my chair. There's not really a reason for it. He just does it. And he doesn't realize he's getting slobber all over everything. He's just doing what he does. Like a dog. Alright, coin number 7. This one's for Chris. We've got, of course, DDO number 2. Nice double die. Then we've got DDO number 3, which is a nice class 6 double die. All of those are possible here. Of course, DDO number 1, we all know what that is. And then we have at least 1 class 6 double die reverse, maybe 2. And I just keep looking for anything and everything in 1955 that could turn out to be something other than the norm. Because you just never know what you're going to end up with. Sureg here. But we do have just a few different dies that we're primarily looking for. I mean, yeah, it'd be sweet, really nice if we could get a 55 DDO number 1. But that is very, very highly unlikely. Up to coin number 8 now. This one's for Sureg. Some of these you got a really nice clean reverse and an ugly obverse, and some of you got a nice clean obverse and an ugly reverse. It's just a very, very trying time in minting coins. I have to research exactly why, but they used the dies till they were in a frazzle. It was the last year they minted San Francisco Mint coins. The 1955 half dollar came only in the Philadelphia version, and it was difficult to find. So something was up in 1955. It wasn't a war. We were over with the Korean War, and the Vietnam War had not yet begun. Produced plenty of cars that year. I do believe it was the year color television came into being. Let's see. I think Eisenhower was president. Yet we had some of the ugliest minted Lincoln cents for die condition ever in 1955. Let's see what else I can pull out of here, if anything. Yeah, most people didn't have color TV when it first came out. It took years and years for a lot of families to end up with color TV. We still had a black and white TV when I was a kid, and that was in the mid-'70s, early to mid-'70s. I remember having a color TV in the living room, but we had a black and white in the kitchen and a black and white In my bedroom, I had a small 13-inch black and white 2-dial TV. A lot of machine doubling in this roll. Interesting machine doubling, but it is machine doubling. This looks very, very similar to another coin that we just pulled out of the roll a few minutes ago. Alright, well that was coin number 11. I think I'm about ready to ditch the reverse searching for now. So we'll just look at the obverses on these and see if we find any of the double dies that we have become familiar with over the years. Should be a relatively simple search. Hello, Doug. Richard. Richard's up next, and if I can find the coin, here we go. As for those who may not know and have not heard yet, I tend to have a little bit of a difficult time finding the coin under the microscope simply because the microscope is sitting 2.5, 3 feet to my side. So I'm kind of looking at it from a side view, and sometimes it gets a little difficult to drive underneath there. It's something that I have become quite accustomed to doing, yet my depth perception sometimes deceives me. I'm going to grab this roll completely at random out of my stockpile, knowing that we would have just as much a chance with this roll as any other in finding goodies. I don't know where I got this. I don't know how long I've had it. On to number 16 now. Anthony Arshnia. Been a lot of advancement lately in my eBay inventory. A lot of license plate stuff in there, as I am also a license plate enthusiast. If anybody has any interest in going and seeing what a license plate nuts sales page looks like, you can go into eBay and search copper coins. I got a bunch of mini plates and a bunch of regular plates. I'm going to list a bunch more this weekend. Here's number 18. This one goes to Mickey. And hoping to find something different from what we've been finding so far, which is pretty much nothing. Haven't made it there yet. Got coin number 19 now, Mr. Fletcher. Looks like there's some chance that this roll may turn out to be a dud after all. It's okay, we've got 2 more reveals to do before I take a break. This one for Cap Morgan Dollar. And I still have a bunch of early rolls that we haven't even explored yet. I have a 1939D roll that I would like to do. The unfortunate part about that is those coins are going to be expensive. 39D is not a roll you can find regularly. I also have a 1935D roll. It might take me doing a special show just for those. I don't know. Not exactly sure how I'm going to accomplish or attack that yet. I guess I could take a poll and find out how many people would buy a spot or more in a 1935D roll. 35D would be, I think, somewhere in excess of $15 a coin. The 39D would be, I think, about $12 a coin. That's just because those rolls are so damned expensive. They're really hard to get and very pricey. If I'm not mistaken, a 35D rolls over $1,000. I'd have to look at it to figure out how much I paid for it and what my math turns out to be. There's one for Paul and Mr. Hampton. How about that auction last night? What do you guys think about that? Get some goodies? I'm going to get all that stuff worked up and packaged up tomorrow. Hopefully I'll get it mailed tomorrow. I'm all by myself this week because Mickey is not going to be here. He usually helps me get all my boxes together. But this time around, I'll be doing it on my own. All by my lonesome. This is coin number 25. We're halfway through the roll now, and this one's for Doug. Is anybody out there? I know Taco John's working, but I have a lot of people out there not saying much of anything. Speaking of Taco John, coin number 26. We'll go to Taco John. This is coin number 26. Doug, Paul, you guys are both still here, and nobody says anything. Walk in, say hello, sit down, take a seat, and don't make another noise. This isn't class. It's not a school. Within reason, you can say what you want. And sometimes even without reason. T-Rep now. T-Rep, coin number 27. Let's check and see. Wow, look at the die cracks on the date there. That's just amazing. There's a lot of die cracks on this. Look at that. Almost complete die failure here. Bam, crack, crack on the lapel, crack here, crack there, crack everywhere. Almost got a buy formed on this one. Let's see, we got die cracks on the B, E, R, T, and Y. What about the face or the head or any of that? Wow. Oddly enough, only what, 1, 2, 3, 4 small die cracks? Actually 3. One of them's just very long. In the head area. About it for that coin. T-Rep, you got yourself a pretty nice looking die failure going on. Dennis now. Dennis comes up with the next coin. And let's see what we have for Dennis. Another one, die cracks on every digit of the date. It's not the same die though. It's a different die. Die crack in the head is different. You know, a lot of times these references that will give you basically a blurb of text about the different markers, they irk me to no end when they say die chip on T of cent. Yeah, really? About half the coins I see have a die chip on the T of cent. Can we be a little more Pacific? What my sister used to say when I was a kid. Pacific, it would be Pacific. It's specific. Specific. Let's check this one. Yep. See, this one doesn't match. Does not have a die chip on the T of cent. Well, some do, some don't, I guess. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. That took a little while to type, didn't it? Get back into tongue twisters again, I guess. How fast can you say that? You know, the supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. All right, here we go. Coin number 31. Paul Hampton. Let's see if this one comes out to be anything different from what we've seen so far. This one's the same die that we saw a couple of minutes ago. Quote noting there. Number 32, Taco John. And let's check and see what Taco John has for luck. And as luck would have it, none. Getting kind of tired of dud rolls here. Sureg. Sureg now. Another dud coin. Well, this would be great for the people who, go on eBay and sell these poor man double dies for $5 a piece. This would be an expensive roll, because there's a lot of them in it. 2/3 of the coins in this roll, at least, including this one, have been the poor man's double. I stop at the word double because I don't want to call it a double die or a double die or anything like that, because that just leads to confusion. Confucius say, good day, Anthony. Here's one for Mickey. Let's see what we've got for Mickey. Oh man, this one's about falling apart. That one's just about to catastrophically fail. That's that same die that we saw before that I made the same basic comment about. Some dies look like they're about to fall apart. Well, let's see. Had a couple in this roll that were actually slightly earlier die state. They didn't show nearly as much feathering on the outer lettering as most of these others are. Feathering, well, on some of these we threw the whole pillow at it and not just a feather. Mr. Hurley. Let's see what Mr. Hurley gets here. Going with a no, a no, a no, and another no. That was number 37. Now 38. Mr. Dennis. Let's see what Mr. Dennis gets. Well, it is another one of our multiple die crack in the head dies with the I guess die worn duplication of the 5 and the date. Best way to explain it, as it is in no shape or form a double die. There's a clash mark. The C in cent. That's the bottom of the C in cent. And that for Carl. Now number 40. Back to Tyler. First person in the roll. And now for coin number 40 in the roll, and it has nothing. Okay. Well, unfortunately, that's not going to get us anywhere. How about Jim Fletcher? Mr. Fletcher. Let's see. What do I have here? Well, it's the same thing we've seen in a number of other cases so far, so probably time to just stop repeating that statement, because that's pretty much all we're getting out of this roll. Now, I have had a case or two here and there where one coin in the entire roll will be a nice die variety, but only one coin. And in fact, my very first 1956 D with the S between the 1 and 9 of the date, my very first one of those I found was a nice early dice date example. And I found it in a 1956 D roll that I was just about to give up on because it didn't have anything in it. And it was the 49th coin in the roll. And what did I do as soon as I looked at it? I was hoping coin number 50 would be one too. I'm not greedy at all. But it wasn't. There was only the one coin in that roll. All right, back to Anthony again. And I'm not going to have a special one here. How about number 45? Back to Chris. Demand for mortgages has dropped to a 28-year low. I don't know. Could it have anything to do with 8% interest rates? I think you've gone a little bit overboard, Mr. Fed. Time to start letting people keep a little bit more of their money. Stop taxing them 4 times on the same income. I think somebody needs to come back with the idea of abolishing the IRS altogether and just doing a national sales tax, that you pay a sales tax on everything you buy that is far higher than the sales tax we pay now. That way, your proof of making income is by how much you spend, not by how much you save. And the more you save, the more benefit you get because you're not paying taxes on money you're saving. You pull it out of your bank account, you put it in your bank account, you stuff it in a pillow, you bury it in the yard, you put it back in a bank account. Doesn't make any difference. You're not spending it. So you're not taxed on any of that. You're only taxed when you go buy a candy bar, or when you buy a house, a boat, another yacht. 3 bungalows on an island off the coast of Bermuda. You get taxed on that money. That's the only thing that makes sense, really. Why would you tax the income of someone who has lost a leg to an amputation, doesn't have a job, and is living on assistance? And what are you going to do? You're going to tax their income? Those are likely the people who know how to save. So those are likely the people who would benefit from not having income tax. Interest on loans. Eric is the last coin in this very humble roll. Got a nice 5 with that shadow doubling on it, and that's going to be it for that. That's it, boys and girls. Time to move on to coin reveal hunt number 563. Let me get my stuff together. Let me get ready for it, and I will be back shortly. Hit me on that next stream, and we will get going here real soon. See you then.